Alright, so I got that clutch pin or clutch linkage hooked back up to the arm there through that pin. Got all the bolts in. The front housing there, the flywheel housing. I got a couple of. I gotta put the bracket back on that holds these hoses up. It's right there. That guy. And put the clutch or the shifter arm back in up top. And I got the drive shaft back in and a couple of hoses. Got this one, and then there's another one over here that was in the way. I think there's one more. Don't remember where it was. It's right here up on top. There's a little spring right there, and it sits on these two perches. Those two bolts in the middle, they were 15/16 heads on them. I put those in. I did that through the top, through the shifter hole, and there's a couple of plugs I got to plug back in. I got the one up here, and this one, the flywheel sensor or crank sensor, whatever that is, I didn't take that out or unplug that, so that's still in. And yeah, and that'll be that. So I say ain't too much left. I think these bolts get torqued to around 30 foot-pounds, I believe. Not exactly sure on that. I'm just gonna kind of get them tight. But I think they're 30 foot-pounds. They're not very big. I think they're just the 9/16 heads, so I think they're 7/16 or 3/8, one of the two. And yep, tie that back up to that plate. Put a little bit of oil in it that I drained out, and we should be good. After that, I do have to get the front drive shaft back in, and the bracket that holds the front carrier right there. But let's say ain't too much left, so we're gonna start doing that. Alright, so we're gonna hook these air lines back up. I got one goes there, one there, and one there. And then there's another one that goes on the back of the transmission that I gotta feed through. So I pull that paper towel up, hook those lines up, and should be good. Yeah, I've got the 4 bolts that gotta go into the shifter. Once those are in, kind of just tie this wiring up a little bit and put the doghouse back on. I might go with some self-tapping screws or something through the floor here, and yeah, put that back on and probably go for a ride. I think I'm gonna run it a little bit before I put the front drive shaft in, just to make sure that I don't have a leak anymore, because I don't want to have to take the drive shaft back out if I gotta work on something else, like if that oil pan didn't seal up or anything. It makes it a little difficult. So that's what we're going to do. So I went out for a ride, drove it around, and we appeared good. I did the same route that I had done all the other times, and basically when I parked it, there would have been a giant puddle right here. So definitely way better than we were. I mean, it's got a couple of leaks here and there, a little one there, and yeah. So some of the oil, because I couldn't clean out like around where the starter is, you can see it kind of weeping a little bit right there. I think that's just because there was oil in there. Like I didn't clean that area, so it's just kind of warming up and coming out. Let's see in there a little bit. So it's pretty dry in there. There's a little bit of whipped oil there, but I didn't clean out the teeth or anything. I just cleaned the back of the flywheel and the front. I didn't clean it up all that much. So I think that's just stuff that came from just off the flywheel. I'm not too worried about it. But you know, we'll keep an eye on it and see how it goes. Because I mean, it was pretty difficult to clean all that oil out that was in there, and there's nooks and crannies and stuff that you just can't get. So as it heats up, it just kind of slings off that was in there. You might be able to see over there by where the starter was or is. You can see how it's kind of wet still. So I don't know if you can see on the camera, but anyway. I can see there's like a little pocket over there. I'd have to take the starter up to clean it all out, and I'm not super worried about it because it's really not a big deal. But anyway, so I'm gonna put this front drive shaft back in, and that'll be about it for this. So I hope that can help someone. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I'll try to answer them as best I can. To be clear, the manufacturer does not want you to disassemble the seal and the wear ring. They want you to install them as one piece, which would mean you would need the seal installer, which is about $300. So it's up to you on how you want to do it. I saw a tip in one of the books on how to get the wear ring off of the crank, and they said to hit it with a hammer around the outside, and that will cause it to expand a little bit, and it should come off easier. And I wouldn't go nuts hitting it, but that was in the install manual, or the service manual for the dt466E and the 530E. This isn't an E, this is an older, I think it's a P, I don't know. It's got a P pump on it. But I didn't read that because I forgot I had the manual until afterwards, so it would have probably come off a little bit easier than cutting with a chisel. But anyway, it all worked out, and seemed to be good. So I guess I'm gonna put this front drive shaft in and do a couple little things here and there. And I got another issue that just arose. There's a hole in the exhaust here that I gotta change out this piece of flex pipe. I wish I had known it was going to do that. I would have just taken it off while it was apart. It would have been a little easier without it in the way, but it blew out while I was on the ride. And I got some cracking down there, so had to get another piece of flex pipe. But anyway, so I'm going to stick this drive shaft in and be done with this for now.